Hey everyone! Welcome back to Book Bites. I'm your host Layla, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. If you've ever been curious about the universe, how life began, or the science behind it all, this episode is for you. In just a few minutes, I'll be breaking down the key ideas from this mind-blowing book. So, grab your favorite snack and let's jump right in. The Birth of the Universe. In the opening pages of A Short History of Nearly Everything, Bryson wastes no time in introducing us to one of the most mind-boggling concepts in science, the birth of the universe. Our story begins about 13.8 billion years ago with the Big Bang, the event that created everything we know. In the blink of an eye, an infinitesimally small, dense point of energy expanded, resulting in a universe that has been growing ever since. But what was before the Big Bang? Bryson explains that, in truth, the concept of before is difficult to understand when it comes to the universe. Time, space, and matter, as we know them, did not exist in the conventional sense before this explosion. The idea of a singularity, an infinitely small and dense point, challenges our comprehension, and it is one of the profound mysteries that scientists continue to study. The scale of the universe is mind-boggling, and Bryson emphasizes just how little we truly know about it. For instance, our universe contains billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars. The Earth, our home, is a speck in the grand scale of the cosmos. Yet, in the book, Bryson points out how this vast and complex universe, despite its immense size, is governed by a set of physical laws that remain consistent, which has allowed life to emerge. The formation of the Earth. Fast forward a few billion years from the Big Bang to the birth of our own planet. Earth's formation is just as spectacular and improbable as the universe's beginning. The Earth was formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and it too began as a hot, molten mass. The process of its formation was chaotic, with countless collisions between particles and larger bodies. Over time, the Earth cooled, and a thin crust began to form. But conditions on Earth were still inhospitable. The atmosphere was toxic, filled with gases like methane, ammonia, and carbon dioxide, with no oxygen to sustain life. Yet, something extraordinary happened. About 3.8 billion years ago, Earth experienced a period of intense geological activity, with volcanic eruptions and the formation of early oceans. It was during this time that the first life forms began to emerge. Scientists still don't know exactly how life began, but Bryson explains the prevailing theory. Life may have originated in the oceans, where simple molecules combine to form more complex compounds. One of the crucial factors for life's origins was the presence of liquid water. Water is a solvent that allows chemical reactions to occur, making it essential for life as we know it. The first forms of life were microscopic organisms, and it took millions of years for life to evolve from these simple molecules into more complex organisms. It's a process that remains a topic of great scientific interest, with various theories about the role of minerals, electrical charges, and other environmental factors in the development of life. The search for life elsewhere. One of the recurring themes in Bryson's book is the search for life beyond Earth. With our planet's complexity and unique combination of elements, scientists are constantly searching for signs of life elsewhere in the universe. This search isn't limited to the realms of science fiction. There are real efforts to discover extraterrestrial life. Bryson talks about the search for planets outside our solar system, known as exoplanets. Scientists have been able to discover thousands of exoplanets using telescopes, some of which lie in the so-called habitable zone, where conditions might be just right for life to exist. Bryson takes a moment to explain how unlikely it is for Earth-like conditions to emerge elsewhere in the universe. Even though the numbers of stars and planets in the universe are nearly infinite, the specific combination of factors that led to life on Earth, our planet's position from the sun, the presence of water, and the existence of the right chemical ingredients seems to be extraordinarily rare. However, the search for life continues, and Bryson describes how scientists are looking for microbial life forms in places like Mars, Europa, a moon of Jupiter, and Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, where there is evidence that liquid water may exist beneath their icy surfaces. The development of Earth's atmosphere. One of the more intriguing parts of A Short History of Nearly Everything is Bryson's examination of how Earth's atmosphere developed. As the planet cooled, volcanic activity released gases into the atmosphere, including carbon dioxide, water vapor, and methane. However, it wasn't until photosynthetic organisms evolved that the atmosphere started to change dramatically. These early organisms, such as cyanobacteria, produced oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis, which began to accumulate in the atmosphere, leading to what Bryson calls the Great Oxygenation Event around 2.4 billion years ago. This event had profound consequences for life on Earth. Oxygen, while essential for many forms of life today, was toxic to many of the earlier life forms. The accumulation of oxygen in the atmosphere eventually led to the extinction of these anaerobic organisms, paving the way for more complex life forms that could utilize oxygen. Bryson also touches on the importance of Earth's magnetic field, which acts as a protective shield against harmful solar radiation. Without this magnetic field, life on Earth would not have been able to survive for as long as it has. The magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron in the Earth's outer core, is an essential feature of the planet's habitability. The impact of catastrophes. As Bryson takes us on this journey through Earth's early history, he also highlights how catastrophic events have shaped the development of life. One of the most famous and impactful of these events is the asteroid impact that is believed to have caused the mass extinction of the dinosaurs around 66 million years ago. This event, along with other mass extinctions, demonstrates how fragile life on Earth can be. Bryson delves into the science behind these extinction events and explores the ongoing vulnerability of Earth to future catastrophes. While we often think of extinction events as isolated, Bryson emphasizes that the Earth is constantly undergoing changes that affect the balance of life. From volcanic eruptions to climate changes, the planet is in a constant state of flux. The question of whether humanity will survive future catastrophes is an ongoing concern in the scientific community. The birth of life and evolution. As we transition into the next phase of the book, Bryson introduces the theory of evolution, a concept that revolutionized our understanding of life. Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection is central to our understanding of how life on Earth has evolved over time. In this section, Bryson explores the development of life from simple, single-celled organisms to the complex diversity of life we see today. The process of evolution, fueled by genetic mutations and environmental pressures, has led to the extraordinary diversity of life on Earth. One of the central ideas that Bryson emphasizes is how life's complexity arises from simple beginnings. The process of evolution operates through small, incremental changes over long periods of time. He also points out the randomness of evolution. Mutations occur by chance, and only those mutations that provide a survival advantage are passed on. This randomness makes the story of life on Earth even more remarkable. The magnitude of the task. Bryson's ability to weave together the vastness of time, the complexity of biological processes, and the intricacies of the universe is one of the key strengths of the book. As he introduces us to the origins of life, he reminds us of how little we still know about these processes. There is so much that remains mysterious, from the exact conditions that allowed life to begin on Earth to the possibility of life elsewhere in the universe. Evolution, a slow and steady process. Now that we've established the conditions necessary for life to exist, Bryson takes us into the world of evolution. Perhaps no scientific theory has had a more profound impact on our understanding of the natural world than Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection. Darwin's ideas, which were revolutionary in the 19th century, provide the framework for understanding how complex organisms arise from simpler ones. The fundamental concept behind natural selection is deceptively simple. Organisms with traits that are advantageous for survival in their environment are more likely to reproduce and pass those traits on to future generations. Over time, this process leads to the gradual accumulation of beneficial traits in a population. But as Bryson points out, evolution operates slowly, over immense periods of time. The changes that occur in the DNA of organisms happen at a rate that is imperceptible to us in our lifetime. As he explains, the Earth has been around for about 4.5 billion years. and life itself has existed for roughly 3.8 billion years. Evolution, therefore, is a long and drawn-out process that only becomes apparent when viewed through the lens of geological time. One of the key insights Bryson offers is that evolution is not a smooth, linear progression. Instead, it is filled with randomness and unpredictability. Mutations, random changes in an organism's DNA, can occur at any time, and these mutations may be beneficial, neutral, or harmful. Those that are beneficial increase the chances of survival and reproduction. Over time, the accumulation of these beneficial mutations leads to new species. However, evolution doesn't always follow a straightforward path. Bryson discusses instances where evolution seems to take unexpected turns. For example, there are species of animals that have remained largely unchanged for hundreds of millions of years, suggesting that their environments have been so stable that there has been little pressure for evolution to produce new traits. Bryson also explores the concept of punctuated equilibrium, proposed by paleontologists Niles Eldredge and Stephen Jay Gould. This theory suggests that evolution doesn't always happen at a slow, steady pace. Instead, there are periods of rapid change, followed by long periods of stability. These bursts of evolutionary change are often triggered by significant environmental shifts, such as an asteroid impact, volcanic activity, or other catastrophic events that cause a mass extinction, creating opportunities for new life forms to emerge. The Age of the Dinosaurs. One of the most captivating sections of Bryson's book focuses on the age of dinosaurs, which spanned from about 230 million years ago to 66 million years ago. During this time, dinosaurs were the dominant life forms on Earth. Bryson takes us on a journey through the Mesozoic era, where we learn about the different periods, Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous, that saw the rise and fall of various types of dinosaurs. Bryson's exploration of the dinosaur era is not just about dinosaurs themselves, but also about how paleontologists have pieced together the story of these ancient creatures. Fossils, he explains, provide a glimpse into life long past, but the process of interpreting these remains is far from simple. In many cases, fossils are incomplete or poorly preserved, and reconstructing the appearance, behavior, and even the internal structures of dinosaurs is a difficult task. Yet, over time, scientists have managed to uncover an astonishing amount of information about dinosaurs. One of the most surprising aspects of Bryson's exploration of the dinosaur age is the realization that, contrary to popular belief, dinosaurs were not sluggish, slow-moving reptiles. Instead, many dinosaurs were highly active, agile creatures with sophisticated behaviors. Some even had feathers, challenging the old image of scaly, sluggish giants. This reimagining of dinosaurs has been driven by new fossil discoveries and the application of modern scientific techniques, such as scanning technologies that allow scientists to look inside fossilized bones without damaging them. The extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs, an asteroid impact that created the Chicxulub crater in Mexico, is one of the most dramatic episodes in Earth's history. Bryson explains how the impact triggered a chain of events that drastically altered the planet's climate. The explosion would have released enough energy to cause massive wildfires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter effect, blocking out the sun and cooling the Earth for months or even years. This extinction event paved the way for mammals to rise to prominence. The rise of mammals. The mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs had far-reaching consequences. While the dinosaurs were vanishing, mammals began to fill the ecological niches left behind. Bryson delves into the early history of mammals, explaining that they were not the dominant creatures during the age of the dinosaurs. In fact, mammals were small and relatively insignificant creatures during this time, living in the shadow of their larger reptilian counterparts. But after the dinosaurs' extinction, mammals began to diversify rapidly. This period, known as the Cenozoic era, saw the rise of a wide variety of mammals, including the ancestors of humans. One of the key points Bryson makes about mammals is how they evolved to be more efficient in using oxygen. While dinosaurs were ectothermic, cold-blooded, and required external heat to regulate their body temperature, mammals are endothermic, warm-blooded, and can regulate their own body heat. This allowed mammals to thrive in a wider range of environments, from the Arctic to the tropics, and it played a crucial role in their survival and success. Bryson also highlights some of the most fascinating mammalian creatures that have ever existed, such as the woolly mammoth and saber-toothed tiger. These large mammals were adapted to survive in harsh ice age conditions, but they eventually succumbed to extinction as the planet warmed and human activity contributed to their decline. The role of chance in evolution. One of the most thought-provoking aspects of Bryson's book is his exploration of the role of chance in evolution. While natural selection is a major force in shaping the development of life, chance events also play an important role in determining which species survive and which go extinct. For example, Bryson explains that many species of life that once dominated the Earth have vanished due to random, unpredictable events. Some creatures may have been perfectly adapted to their environments, but still failed to survive due to a random catastrophe, such as a volcanic eruption or asteroid impact. This randomness extends to the history of human evolution as well. Bryson describes how early human ancestors, such as Homo habilis and Homo erectus, were shaped by random genetic mutations, environmental pressures, and random events in their environments. The story of human evolution is filled with twists and turns, and there are numerous points in our history where we could have taken a different evolutionary path. In fact, Bryson points out that many species of early humans coexisted at the same time, and it was only through a combination of natural selection and random events that Homo sapiens emerged as the dominant species. Earth's geological forces. Bryson concludes this section by discussing the geological forces that shape the Earth and influence life. Plate tectonics, for example, has been responsible for the formation of mountains, the movement of continents, and the creation of ocean basins. These geological processes have a profound impact on the environment, shaping the climate and creating barriers that affect the movement and distribution of species. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other geological events have shaped the course of evolution by creating new habitats, destroying old ones, and forcing species to adapt or go extinct. The slow but constant movement of Earth's tectonic plates also affects the climate. For instance, the shifting of continents over millions of years has contributed to ice ages and global warming events, which in turn influence the evolution of species. Bryson's discussion of plate tectonics is a reminder of how dynamic and interconnected the Earth's systems are. After millions of years of evolution, the first humans, Homo sapiens, began to emerge around 200,000 years ago in Africa. Bryson details how our species rose from humble beginnings, surrounded by other human-like species such as Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and the Neanderthals. Through a combination of environmental pressures, biological adaptation, and perhaps most significantly, cultural and technological developments, Homo sapiens became the dominant species on Earth. One of the key factors that set us apart from other animals was our ability to create and pass on complex ideas. The development of language, tools, and social structures helped Homo sapiens thrive in a way that no other species had done before. But, as Bryson points out, this success has come at a cost. Unlike the dinosaurs or other species that once roamed the Earth, we have created an environment where we are capable of influencing the planet on an unprecedented scale. For better or worse, we have become a force of nature, altering ecosystems, changing the climate, and causing the extinction of species at an alarming rate. Bryson doesn't shy away from discussing the darker side of human history, particularly our role in the mass extinction of species. He discusses the impact of hunting, habitat destruction, and the introduction of non-native species. The Anthropocene, as it's called, the age of human dominance on Earth, is a time where humans are the most significant force shaping the planet's environment. The environmental crisis. Bryson takes a critical look at the state of the world today and the environmental crisis we face. The climate crisis, deforestation, pollution, and biodiversity loss are all consequences of human activity. Bryson highlights how industrialization and the widespread use of fossil fuels have caused dramatic changes in the atmosphere, particularly in terms of rising carbon dioxide levels. This increase in greenhouse gases has led to global warming, which is already affecting ecosystems and weather patterns around the world. What Bryson makes clear is that these environmental changes are not only having immediate effects, but will continue to shape the future of life on Earth. He discusses the potential long-term consequences of our actions, including the rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and mass migrations that may occur as the planet's climate continues to warm. The ecological balance that has taken millions of years to develop is now being disrupted by human activity, and we are living in a moment of profound transformation. One of the most striking points Bryson makes is how rapidly these changes have occurred. In just over a century, human activity has caused more environmental damage than in all the preceding millennia. Industrialization, urbanization, and the increase in the global population have led to rapid deforestation, habitat loss, and a decline in biodiversity. Bryson references the fact that we are currently in the midst of the sixth mass extinction, an event driven not by an asteroid impact or volcanic catastrophe, but by human actions. The role of science. Science, in Bryson's narrative, has been our most powerful tool in understanding the natural world. However, it has also become increasingly important in addressing the challenges we face as a species. Bryson explores the ways in which science has revolutionized our understanding of the Earth and the universe. From geology to astronomy, biology to physics, scientific discovery has provided us with the tools to not only understand the natural world, but also to manipulate it. But Bryson also highlights the limitations of our knowledge. Despite all the progress science has made, we still don't have all the answers. For example, while we've learned a great deal about the universe, there are still mysteries that elude us, such as the nature of dark matter and dark energy. The origin of life, despite all the advancements in biology and chemistry, remains one of the greatest mysteries in science. Bryson uses these examples to emphasize that while science has provided us with incredible insights, there's still so much we don't know. The pursuit of knowledge is ongoing, and there will always be more to discover. Furthermore, Bryson points out that scientific progress has not always been linear. Many of the most important discoveries have come by accident or through serendipitous moments. He discusses how some of the greatest minds in history, from Isaac Newton to Marie Curie, often made their breakthroughs through unconventional paths or by building on the work of others. The scientific process, while rigorous, is often unpredictable and relies on the ability to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and think outside the box. The extinction crisis and conservation efforts. Another pressing issue that Bryson examines is the ongoing extinction crisis. As humanity continues to encroach on natural habitats, the planet's biodiversity is under severe threat. Bryson highlights how we are losing species at an alarming rate, with many species disappearing before we even have a chance to study them in depth. In particular, Bryson points to the destruction of rainforests, wetlands, and coral reefs as key factors contributing to the loss of biodiversity. These ecosystems are not only home to countless species, but also play a vital role in regulating the Earth's climate and maintaining ecological balance. The destruction of these habitats has far-reaching consequences, not just for the animals that live there, but for the entire planet. However, Bryson also notes that there are efforts to counteract this trend. Conservationists, environmental scientists, and activists are working tirelessly to protect endangered species and preserve critical ecosystems. From setting up wildlife reserves and national parks to advocating for stricter environmental regulations, these efforts are vital for the survival of many species. The idea of conservation is closely linked to the broader concept of sustainability. In order to preserve the Earth for future generations, Bryson argues that we need to adopt more sustainable practices in every aspect of our lives. This includes rethinking how we use natural resources, shifting towards renewable energy sources, and reducing waste. While the scale of the challenge is immense, Bryson expresses cautious optimism that with collective effort, we can mitigate some of the damage and work towards a more sustainable future. The future of life on Earth. As Bryson draws the narrative to a close, he poses the important question: what does the future hold for life on Earth? The answer, as he acknowledges, is uncertain. While human ingenuity and scientific progress have allowed us to achieve incredible feats, we are also faced with significant challenges that threaten the planet's ecosystems and, by extension, human civilization itself. In discussing the future, Bryson turns to the concept of resilience. Life on Earth has gone through numerous cycles of extinction and renewal. Even after catastrophic events, life has always managed to find a way to bounce back. Whether through natural processes or through human efforts to reverse the damage we've done, the future of life on Earth depends on our ability to adapt and evolve in response to the challenges we face. One of the most poignant moments in the book is Bryson's reflection on the possibility of humanity surviving the current crisis. While there are many threats on the horizon, from climate change to geopolitical tensions, there is still hope that with global cooperation, technological innovation, and a deeper commitment to sustainability, we can secure a future where life on Earth continues to thrive. Bryson reminds us that the Earth has a remarkable ability to regenerate, but it will require effort and foresight to ensure that the future is one where we live in harmony with the planet rather than at odds with it. The story of life on Earth is far from over, and how we choose to shape the next chapters will determine the fate of countless species, including our own. Conclusion. As we wrap up our exploration of a short history of nearly everything, we are left with a deep sense of wonder and responsibility. From the birth of the universe to the emergence of life, the evolution of species, and the complex forces shaping our planet, Bryson's book offers an enlightening perspective on the fragility and resilience of life. But it also leaves us with a powerful message. The future is not written in stone, and our actions today will determine the legacy we leave for future generations. In closing, we can take away the immense value of understanding our place in the universe. The story of Earth and life is one of continuous change, driven by both random chance and deliberate action. As we face the challenges ahead, it's clear that our ability to adapt, learn, and act will define the future of life on our planet. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Book Bites. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into a short history of nearly everything. If you found it interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow book lovers. I'll be back next time with another summary of a fascinating read. Until then, keep exploring and keep reading. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Layla, and this has been Book Bites